The Pistons and Bulls have met twice so far this season. Though the Pistons have won each time, both games have been exciting overtime thrillers. On November 21st, Isaiah Thomas got the Pistons to overtime, and Adrian Dantley's 36 second-half points gave Detroit the victory. On December 15th, Michael Jordan returned the favor by forcing an extra period with his three-pointer. But Michael's magic ended moments later when Joe Dumars forced him into an offensive foul, fouling Jordan out and squelching Chicago's hopes. Tonight, they'll tangle again. Live from Chicago, it's the Pistons and the Bulls. Hi, everybody, and welcome to jam-packed Chicago Stadium. Believe me, the excitement is back in the Windy City now that Michael Jordan plays here. Why, it hasn't been this tough to get a ticket since my partner Dick Motto was coaching the Bulls. He's the only guy who ever won 50 games here. He did it 4 times. I counted him up, 356 Chicago Bull wins, Dick, and it was tough to get a ticket back then, but there was a dry spell in between.
Well, they did fall on hard times, and I think they did the right thing. They started through the draft and built from the ground up. And when they got Michael Jordan, that was the icing on the cake.
Well, he doesn't stay on the ground too much. What do you do against a guy like this?
Well, watch him. Even as a coach, and he's doing all of these things against you, and you'd be lying to say that you didn't watch him.
He's amazing. Where would he rank already in just his 4th year among all the players you have seen? This would have been your 20th year coaching had you not opted to get out.
I don't think he'll ever have a bad coach. I think that everyone he ever plays for will win a lot of basketball games, and he'll be in the Hall of Fame the second that he's eligible.
Isaiah Thomas and the Pistons come in here. Chuck Daly facing the first of a 5-game rugged West Coast road trip. Now, if you're Chuck and you're playing Chicago, you've already taken them out twice in overtime. Is there a possibility that you would put too much emphasis on game number 1 of the 5-game trip? Do you try to avoid that? How do you handle that?
No, you just say if it's working, don't mess with it. Guys, go out and do exactly the things that we did before, and it'll turn out all right, and it should be a good one tonight.
Well, we talk about different buildings that teams have to play in on the road. None of them are easy. The Pistons found out how rugged Boston Garden can be. They seem to always find that out. This building's no picnic. You had the advantage of coaching here, the disadvantage of coaching in here as a member of the opposition. What's it like?
Well, this is the first place that I've ever been in when I was coaching here that I felt noise, and it was actually something physical, and it was against Bob Lanier and the Detroit Pistons.
During that great 73-74 playoff series?
Yeah, it was tremendous.
Well, someday we'll talk a little bit more about that series. I don't know if I've ever seen a better one. We'll be back, though, to set the starting lineups and get this one going from Chicago in just a moment on the Pistons Basketball Network. Boy, the noise is something else already here in Chicago. If you're preparing to play the Pistons, of course you look out for isolation work from Adrian Dantley. But you also, according to Dick Motto, in tonight's Dick Motto's Minute, have to worry about the Pistons' pick and roll.
The thing that I feared the most when we played the Detroit Pistons was their pick and roll. And their alignment was set up like this. Bill Laimbeer, stationary, foul line extended. The rest of the players on the opposite side of the court spread. Isaiah Thomas has the ball with his dribble alive, and he dribbles over to the stationary Bill Laimbeer. And he uses that, and they like to run it on the left side because that gives Isaiah his right hand, which is more comfortable as he penetrates. Most centers will roll after that, but Bill floats to an open area. Isaiah drives, and here's where the moment of decision. He has options. He can throw the ball back to Bill for his deadly jump shot. He can go all the way to the basket for the score, or he can kick off to one of the 3 teammates if that guy on defense stops the penetration. It's a very, very difficult situation to defend.
And the Pistons hope tonight Coach Mata, that the Bulls have a little difficulty defending it.
Oh, they will. Everyone does. I think that it's the most deadly set play that the Pistons have, and it's the one that we worked on the longest time. We had to spend extra time because Bill Lambert is so good at hitting the outside shot.
What do you do against it?
Hope that he's missing a little bit, and then to force Isaiah into a mistake if possible, and then to trap it. There are all kinds of ways. You can switch it on top. You can run the top man away from the ball over and double team as quickly as possible, but you have to use some sort of gimmick to beat it when they're into it properly.
Speaking of into it, we have the house lights out and the Chicago Bulls being introduced here, and Michael Jordan, last but certainly not least, gets a standing ovation. Doug Collins coaching the Bulls, and he starts tonight with Mike Brown in the middle, so he can still bring Dave Corzine off the bench, despite the fact that Artis Gilmore was unceremoniously dumped on Christmas Eve. Brad Sellers and Charles Oakley, Jordan Brown up front, Michael Jordan and Rory Sparrow in the backcourt. The Pistons, of course, was Adrian Dantley, Rick Mahorn, Bill Lambier, Joe Dumars, and Isaiah Thomas. You know, Wednesday, the 27th of this month, when the Pistons come home from this West trip, they host the Indiana Pacers in a very important Central Division battle. Tonight, during our simulcast, you can order tickets with a major credit card for this game. Call 338-4500 now. Salespeople are on duty. See the Pistons and the Pacers at the Dome on Wednesday, January 27th. Old friend John Long helped Jack Ramsey and Dick Harder and the guys last night. Got a season-high 32 as the Pacers came back to beat San Antonio at the Hemisphere. That's a tough place to play, Dick Mata.
I think they're all tough.
Earl Strom, and he's not the worst guy to have running the show when you're on the road. One of the officials here tonight, Jess Thompson the other.
Well, I loved him when I stepped out of that dressing room, especially if I was the visitor. He worked the 7th game of our championship series. When I walked out of that hall and saw Earl, I turned to Bernie Bickerstaff and said, we got a shot.
And as it turned out, you got a ring. Pistons win the tap. Dumars gives to Dantley, top of the key. And Oakley will try and check AD. Takes it right wing, hands off to Dumars, who feeds Isaiah deep left, long gun, no. Rebound tapped by Oakley, out of bounds. Pistons keep it. Chicago with the leading scorer, Michael Jordan, and the leading rebounder, Charles Oakley. Nice to go to war with guys like that.
When you're the best in the league, it does put pressure on you as a coach, though. They expect you to win more.
Sure. Pistons with a fresh 24. Lambier feeds Dumar, right side, guns. It's off the heel. The cold shooting continues. Oakley boards it for Chicago. Rory Sparrow joining Jordan in the backcourt. They bring John Paxson off the bench now. Give him a little more time at the off guard because he's such a good shooter. Sparrow, such a heady leader anyway, gives to Jordan wide of the lane. Michael two-time back to Sparrow behind the foul line, fires and fills it. And the Pistons trying to rush it up after the make. Isaiah feeds Dumars across the lane, but took a walk before he hit the reverse. Traveling.
Chicago's defense on the first 2 possessions borders right on zone.
We'll keep a close watch on that. Michael Jordan checked by Dumars, top of the key, feeds Sellers left wing. He dropped it, picked it up on AD. Clock at 10 as they feed Oakley mid-post. Back it goes on the wing to Sparrow. In the paint, Brown. Turn and gun. Got it. Mike Brown scores. It's 4-0 Chicago. Sparrow picking Isaiah up at three-quarter court. But Isaiah runs him, or nearly does, and on the horn pick. Then loses the ball to Brown. Mike Brown beating Sparrow in the lane. Goes right of it. Rainbows no. Tap Brown no. Rebound Dumars. Good position for Joey D. Flips it midcourt to Isaiah. Down the lane, tries to scoop, but Oakley blocks it to Sellers. Now Jordan midcourt, bouncing for Sparrow. Dumars kicks it away out of bounds. They'll reset the shot clock.
Joe had that all the way. Michael Jordan really telegraphed that pass. It surprised me. Come from the weak side.
Boy, Isaiah got it smashed back at him when he tried to come down the lane and scoop.
What do they say? Don't bring lemonade to a party.
Pistons knock it away as the Bulls try and penetrate. Dumars driving, got it blocked. No foul, but a Piston possession with 19 seconds showing on the shot clock.
It looks like he got a little bit of his body. He was up there pretty good, though.
Talking about somebody who can sky. They don't call him Air Jordan for nothing. Dumars right wing. Misfires wide left. Ricky Mahorn trying to out scrap him for the rebound. Loses it out of bounds. Didn't let Chicago have it, but couldn't hold it himself.
Major league rebounding in there tonight.
Pistons nothing for 5 from the floor. David Schuster is our statistician, keeping track of the numbers. 4-0 Chicago. Jordan hooking a pass inside to Oakley, but before he does, we're going to get an illegal defense warning against the Pistons.
I didn't pick that one up.
Bulls ball, 24 more to score. They lead 4-zip. Into our 3rd minute. Jordan down the lane, twisting, turning, got it. 6-0. Adrian Dantley working for the Pistons on the right wing. They'll try and isolate him on Oakley. Sellers tried to guard him last time, and that was a joke.
That has to be a good
Chicago's in
defense.
the zone now, and they get caught. Warning's 1-1. They'll shoot all the rest.
They respect him so much they came at him with a 3-man trap. One of them realized it and backed off and got caught on the zone rule.
AD inbounding to Isaiah. Starts it, stops it, the dribble that is, and then leaves for Dantley wide of the lane. Faked Oakley left, took him right to the hoop. Hook on the run, no tap. Lambier, no rebound. Oakley. Quick outlet to Jordan. Michael wide of the lane against Dumars. Shake and bake. Now the gun spins away to Lambier. Billy off to Isaiah. Pistons down 6-0. Stop and go move. Wide of the lane right side. Hit the glasser, through the foul.
Can cut the lead in half, which I always thought it was important as a coach. You're only down 6-0. Nice play, good penetration. He got fouled. 2 guys fouled him. I bet they didn't call it Michael.
Oh, they called it on Sparrow. And Isaiah makes at the line. It's 6-3, and Earl Strom.
He's given a lecture.
Warning for somebody.
His are lectures.
Well, he didn't want a lot of trouble, and here he knows there could be. Mahorn and Oakley pounding each other in the lane as Chicago spins around the perimeter. Now Brown has it foul line. Wide right of the lane to Sellers. Sellers against AD. Dishes it wide of it to Brown. Mike Brown fires and fills it again. 8-3. Bulls by 5. Pistons go to Mahorn, roll post right side. Really mid post through it up and in.
Ricky has about a 2-inch advantage on Oakley. You know, you got 2 guys in there that are pounding each other, and that advantage really helps.
Pistons within 3. Sellers top of the key, holds it high. A bump underneath, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Oakley. Well, they finally had to do something about the pounding. Pistons got the break to go their way, and they hustle up to Adrian with a hoop. He scoops, he scores. Pistons within 1. It's 8-7. Early on, we've played 4 minutes in Chicago. They've had 1 non-sellout here this season. Michael Jordan, stop and go move on Dumars, using Oakley's screen, went to the hoop, drew the foul, didn't get it to go. It is on Mahorn.
You have 2 guys on the floor that are drawing more than fouls. Every time Adrian Dantley touches the ball, he has at least 3 Bulls on him. And when Michael Jordan has the ball, you have to do the same thing.
AD, of course, with that brilliant 45-point game against Chicago back in November, but the Pistons won in OT. Finally fouled Michael Jordan out.
They really have concentrated a great deal. As I talked to the Chicago coaches, they are bound and determined that AD will not be the one that beats them this evening.
Jordan made the first, and he hits the second.
How can a guy with pants that long be a good player?
Because he can wear his pants any way he wants to. Isaiah feeding inside of Mahorn. Didn't get it to drop. Oakley boards it. Chicago by 3 and with it. 7:39 to play in the first. Sparrow dishing Sellers up corner. Going to screen from Brown. Long gun, no. Rebound tapped out by Jordan. Pistons with it. 7.5 to play in the first. Isaiah to the center circle, left hand over against Sparrow. Feeds it left wing. Dumars gets it back between the rings. Out goes the Lambier, one lane, squares up, guns, got it. Pistons within one now. Dick 10-9.
It's really tough to guard a center that can shoot the jump shot. It's a completely different mentality with the defensive centers.
Not many can, but this guy can. Sparrow, foul line extended, gets it down for Chicago. And he bothers Isaiah in backcourt. Lambier finally allows it to him. Isaiah already foul line in the lane on Sparrow, turning, forcing, missing line right off the iron. Oakley goes by 3, and they have it 12-9. We have 6:46 to play in the first.
I don't think that's the shot that Chuck wanted.
Jordan against Dumars, left wings to Sparrow, got a screen from Oakley. Misfired this time though, and Lambier boards it. Off to Dumars. Go deep, top the key, wide lane now to Danley. AD against Oakley, 20 on the clock, it's at 15, goes foul line, guns no, off the heel to Mahorn. Fresh 24. Beats Dumars, baseline, misfired there, Oakley boards it, taps to Sparrow. Laurie across the timeline, across the foul line. For the baseline, now comes back sideline. And loops it right wing Oakley. Behind a foul line now, Mike Brown. He feels good about his shot. Missed that one though. Follow up by Jordan. It's in.
There's a lot of energy out on the floor.
There is.
But there's a lot of nervousness too. They really haven't settled down. They're not into their game rhythm yet.
Chicago coming off an overtime loss in Cleveland Thursday by 3. They've lost 2 in a row, and the Pistons trying to snap out of some doldrums of their own. Isaiah feeding Lambier, who misfires from the wing. Chicago board. Sparrow, Jordan, pull up gun, wide of it, no. Rebound AD. Hands to Isaiah, and the Pistons walk it up this trip. They bounce to Danley. Jordan comes to help Oakley. They loop it right wing. Dumars heading to the hoop, leans in, and he's going to be called for the offensive foul. And Chicago takes time. 5:23 to play in the first. In Chicago, the Bulls lead the Pistons 14-9. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. The roof's on the Pistons' new palace, and the heat's up. And your best ticket for all the rest of the excitement this season, and for a guaranteed good seat next season, is a Pistons season ticket. They assure you the hottest seats are what will be the hottest team in town. Call during our simulcast tonight and order some tickets at 338-4500. Pistons season tickets. Chicago with a 4-rebound edge. They lead in the game by 5. Oakley has it, top of the key for the Bulls, working against Mahorn. On the lane to Jordan. That's Dumars' responsibility. Michael slides by and goes to the hoop, hit it off the window. It's 16-9 Chicago. 5 minutes flat to play in the first. Pistons go to Adrian Dantley. Helping Oakley is Jordan. AD flips to Isaiah. Baseline hook on the run. No, but he did draw the foul. Brown got him.
Good penetration. Concentration on the basket.
Was a nice shot.
Usually when you hit the board that soft, they usually nestle into the hole. There are a lot of rebounds available this evening because the shooting percentage is down so far. And there's a lot of action to get the rebounds. They're really banging. Oakley is a major league rebounder.
And the Pistons, who have dropped 5 of their last 8 and 2 of 3, have not been losing for lack of hustle. They've been working their way through this thing. And when the shots start to drop, they could go on a tear.
And as a coach, you don't mind that. When you're not hustling and losing, that's when it gets to you. Even when you win and you're not hustling, it gets to you.
Isaiah did make both free throws, and Oakley missed from the top to key. Mahorn rebound. And it goes to Joe Dumars. Nearly lost the dribble. Fed now Lambier in the corner. Gives to Dantley on the wing. Clock at 13. Working Oakley. Stops, pops it. Is off the iron. Sellers tapping it to Oakley. Chicago basketball. In the lane to Brown. Way outside to go to Jordan. 4:10 to play in the first. Michael Jordan picks up the dribble. Leads to Sellers right corner. Back to Jordan. He will long gun right wing. Airballed it out of bounds.
Air Jordan ball.
Yeah. Van Pistons here a little surprised with that. Out comes Dumars. In comes Vinnie Johnson.
I told you his pants were too long.
Something stopped that shot. 3 minutes and 56 seconds now. Played first quarter as Isaiah comes across the timeline. Feeds Lambier, who leaves it left wing for Dantley. Adrian outside to Isaiah. Clock at 12. Looking the right to Vinnie. He will guard. Doesn't do anything but air himself. And Mike Brown rebounds. Off to Sparrow. 16-11 Chicago. Rory Sparrow on the sideline. Wanted the lane to Oakley. But to Jordan down the lane to the hoop. Hit it and he's fouled. Counted. Isaiah got it.
Michael Jordan really pulled a string on this one. It doesn't show it there, but he had a great head fake out on top of the circle and got by, and it was a nice feed for the layup.
Well, he already has 10, folks. And we still have 3.5 to play in the first. Make it 11, and it's 19-11 Chicago. Chuck Daly calling a Piston play. He's like a hoop here. 3 1/4 to play in the first. You want one every time, but this is a fairly important time. They'll bounce it inside for Mahorn. Chicago knocks it away out of bounds off Oakley. And a pushing foul is going to be called on Sellers. The first on Brad Sellers, the 7-foot second-year player from Ohio State, who has drawn more than his share of boos here in Chicago. They don't like his finesse style of play for a guy 7 feet tall. Pistons go to Vinnie. Wide lane, missed the linger. Rebound AD. Knocked away by Jordan. Picked up by Sparrow. Rory Sparrow in backcourt. Now coming across the timeline. Chicago up 8, and they have it. Sellers has it baseline left. Foul on Brown. Wide lane, Jordan. Michael inside Oakley. Bumped by Lambier, but it didn't stop the shot. It's up and it's in. It's 21-11, and Chuck Daly wants timeout. 2:52 to play in the first. Timeout Pistons. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. George Blaha and Dick Motta in Chicago, where the home folks are fired up because of a Chicago Bulls 10-point lead, and they just introduced the National League's most valuable player, Chicago Cubs slugger Andre Dawson.
The only reason Chicago is ahead now is because Detroit's good shots aren't falling.
With a 4 for 18 now. Chicago 9 for 18. All but a few of the Piston shots, good ones.
And as a coach, you really can't complain too much. If you're working hard and getting good shots, you have to keep encouraging them, tell them, hey, keep it up, keep shooting it, it'll fall. You just don't lose your confidence in the shot. And certainly don't change anything.
Chuck Daly thought about putting Dennis Rodman in. Chicago does put Horace Grant in the game. Oakley's out. Pistons will pick and roll. Isaiah in the lane, got it to go. The pick and roll works. The Pistons set play that Dick Motta covered in his minute. Cuts the lead back to 8. 21-13. Sparrow working against Isaiah, goes right way. Thought about the shot, now drops it deep to Brown. Got his pocket picked nicely by Isaiah. Lambier picks it up, hands back to Isaiah. Great pass, forecourt. Dantley up and in. 21-15. Pistons back to within 6. A minute and 50 now to play in the first.
Isaiah has good vision on the court this evening.
Michael Jordan against Vinnie. Couldn't shoot it. Fed Sellers, who didn't. He drilled it from the corner. 23-15. Pistons try and rush it up. Isaiah looking for Mahorn. Mike Brown intercepts, doesn't hold it. Stepped out of bounds. Pistons keep it. Doug Collins liked the hustle. Brown had a nice start. Dave Corzine replaces him.
I had Dave as a rookie in Washington. I've always liked him.
They like him again in Chicago now, but the Bluebirds were out for many years for the DePaul guy. Isaiah just drilled one from the corner. It's 23-17. I think Isaiah still gets extra pumped in his hometown. You can't help it.
It's a natural thing, yeah. It really is.
Sellers looking inside, feeding Corzine. Pistons knock it away. Sparrow picks it up. Threw it over the hole. Vinnie rebounds, forecourting for Dantley. Now Sellers will try and check AD. He's the guy who was helpless against him in November. There was a little screen to help Adrian go low post. Wheeling across the lane. Here's the fadeaway. It falls.
Sellers can't stay with him on that. There's not enough muscle.
Final minute, first quarter. Chicago by 4. Jordan behind a foul line. Has to pass up the shot. Feeds Sparrow baseline. Missed it. Rebound AD. Away he comes. He's thinking about going to the hoop. Bounces instead to Isaiah. Fakes inside. Tries a shot. Corzine blocks it. Out of bounds.
I really like Chuck's timeout. The timing was great. And they've had a nice run since then.
John Paxson will replace Sparrow now for Chicago. Corzine got up just high enough to block Isaiah's shot.
He's not supposed to be able to jump that high.
Pistons go to Dantley. Hooked, hit it from the baseline. 23-21. AD working out on Sellers.
He can smell him. He knows.
Paxson here on the sideline in front of us. Trapped by Isaiah and Vinny. Out of bounds, and a foul's going to be called on VJ.
Foul call on Vinny Johnson, his first team foul on the last minute.
Sellers will trigger here in front of us.
Almost got you a ball.
Yeah. We're down to the final 12 seconds of the first. Chicago by 2, and Jordan wants to take it. Got Vinny with a foul line. Spins paint. Fakes it. Gives to Green, who dunks it. Very pretty play. But we still have 5 seconds as Isaiah comes across the timeline. Bumped by Jordan, threw it up. It is in and out from the top of the key. Before the shot, though, the foul's called on Jordan.
That's better than a basket. It would have been nice if it had gone in, but I'd rather have the foul on Michael right now and go to the line with the good free throw shooter.
First on Jordan. Dennis Rodman replaces Adrian Dantley. AD had 8. Jordan high in the game with 11. Isaiah has 9. Missed the first free throw.
Put the hex on him.
For the season, Isaiah at 72% from the stripe and 43% from the floor. He's a better shooter than that. Made the second. 25-22. 2 seconds. Paxson from midcourt. Lets it fly. He nearly got it. That counts if it goes, but it didn't. And after 1, it's Chicago by 3. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. TV 50 still your choice for sports in Detroit. Coverage of the Wings and the Devils this Thursday. Ray Lane has Red Wing Yearbook at 7:30. Dave Strader and Mickey Redmond at 7:45 for the face-off between the Devils and the Wings. Live Thursday, the 21st on TV 50. Your choice for sports. Time for the Budweiser beginning of quarter number 2. For all you do, this quarter's for you. 25-22, Chicago. The Pistons finished the first 11-3 run to pull within 3.
That was all done after the timeout.
As Dick might have said, a very good timeout. Scottie Pippen, the rookie in the game, drills him from the baseline. He's been struggling from the floor. We don't want him to heat up.
This is the first time that I've seen him play.
I think you'll like him. I think that he's going to be very good. This is what the experts tell me. Isaiah going baseline, leans. The high glasser, no. Rebound tap by Horace Grant to Corzine. And a whistle and a foul on Vinny, his second.
First of the quarter.
The Bulls out-rebounded the Pistons in the first quarter by a deuce. They shot 11 for 23, by the way. The Pistons 9 for 24. Jordan in the paint, feeding Paxson wide of it. Wing on the right now to Pippen. Back it goes to Paxson. Big Dave Corzine deep on the wing. 2 dribbles, an air ball. Rebound Rodman. And he's fouled. And it's Michael Jordan's foul.
That's one guy you keep track of fouls. You always hope that he gets his 4th one or 3rd one, and they have to pull him out and get his 4th one before the half.
10:53 to play in the half. Chicago 27, Pistons 22. Dumars in the game for Isaiah, feeding Vinny. Now Lambeer has the high post. Back to VJ, baseline leading gun, off the iron. Rodman skies for the rebound. His putback doesn't drop. Rebound John Sally hooks it up and in. Sally and Rodman and Lambeer with Vinny and Dumars. Chicago to Jordan. They lead 27-24. Jordan walking wide of the lane against Sally. Fakes him right, takes him left, down the lane. Lefty scoop short. Rebound Rodman. 1 dribble, hand off Dumars. Bouncing back to Dennis inside. Sally drew the foul. and he was on the way up. He should get a pair at the stripe. Grant got it.
Good ball movement that time. Very unselfish. Dennis could have taken that shot easy enough. Pass it to a guy that was a little closer. Probably thought he had a better shot.
Sedale Threet, who has had more than his share of good games against the Pistons, spelling Michael Jordan momentarily. Sally at the line makes the first. Ricky Mahorn back in the game. Bill Laimbeer gets a rest. Pistons are within 2. Spider Sally from Georgia Tech can draw them to within 1. And he does. 10-10 to play in the half. Pistons bother Scotty Pippen a bit, top of the key. Now Horace Grant has it, wide of the lane. Outside Pippen against a Rodman hand check. They go foul line, extended to 3. Low down to Corzine. Sally knocks it away. Corzine to the floor, picks it up, feeding Grant. High glass reverse, no. Rebound, Mahorn. Ricky dribbles all the way across the timeline. Hands to Dumars. 9:40 till halftime. Pistons could take the lead. Then he gets it from Dumars. Takes Paxson baseline, leans, guns, got it. All that, and the Pistons lead him 28-27. The first lead change of the game. And Chicago will commemorate that with a 20-second timeout.
I think that Vinnie Johnson has a definite advantage on John Paxson, and he's sensed that. I think Doug Collins sensed it also. Maybe wants to make a defensive alignment.
Talk it over. A lot of Piston fans are here tonight. I don't know where to begin, but I will tell you that Tutton and Anita Menzel are here. The ball boys are here, by the way. Mark Scavera, John Pavitt, and Brad Erden made the trip over here. Dave and Beth Support did too. And we'll tell you about the backcourt clubbers who are here in a moment. Fans, don't miss your chance to win up to 10 grand in Dunham's Dash for Cash contests at Pistons home games. You can also win free Pistons tickets, t-shirt, and more. Sign up today at Metro Detroit Dunham stores for your chance to win up to $10,000. No purchase necessary, but you do have to be 18 or older, like Dick Mata and me. 9:20 to play in the half. Pistons by 1. Bulls ball for their 22nd timeout. Paxson feeds Pippen. Pippen working against Rodman. Takes him to the lane. Double pump fake. Now the leaner. It is short. Rebound Rodman. Worm quickly ahead to Dumars. Joe flipped it back outside to Vinny. 20 on the clock. DJ on 3. Leading Glasser. No. Rebound tapped up by Grant to Pippen. Midcourt to 3. Pull up gun behind the foul line. Got it. Chicago by 1. 29-28. 8:44 to play in the half. Dumars feeds Vinny, gets it back foul line. Fishing it deep to Mahorn. I believe we got a travel on Rick.
I think Joe surprised Rick with that pass. He thought he was going in all the way. Turnovers are in proper ratio, 5-3. Detroit has the 5.
8.5 to play in the half. Bulls by 1. Pippen, top of the key. 3 has in the corner. Dumars a piece of the shot. It appeared, but he drove it anyway.
I never saw Sedale play 2 games the same way against us. He either was extremely hot or he couldn't buy a basket.
He's had trouble buying playing time recently, but not tonight. Vinnie Johnson feeds Sally in the lane. Mahorn. Short pop, in and out, back in again. Pistons back within 1. It's 31-30.
It's a different looking Bull team without Michael Jordan out there.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure Doug Collins doesn't like that look. Too long.
Yeah, he won't be on the bench long.
Pippen feeding inside. Grant is double kissed, and we're going to get the foul on Grant. That's a tough one for Chicago, but Jess Thompson was right there.
It wouldn't matter because that was a legitimate block. Pistons would have got the ball anyway.
Backed away by Mahorn. 7 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the half. Pistons down 1. Vinny working 3, goes to the hoop, scoops and scores. 32-31. Pistons lead by 1 again. They were down 10 early. three. Weaving around Dumars, feeds Corzine, baseline for the push. No. Rebound, Rick Mahorn. Ricky to Vinny. Vinny across the timeline. Paxson behind the back door. Head for the baseline. Hand stuck in, and a foul's going to be called. Paxson got him, says Earl Strong.
When Vinny's coming at you as a defensive player, he starts to juke you back and forth like that. You know that he's going to go up with the shot, and that he wants a shot. And it is a tough feeling because Paxson physically is not up to the task.
Well, Vinny's so strong, and he gets up so good, and he likes to shoot it in any kind of crazy contortion. It doesn't really bother him where he starts the shot.
Hey, Vinny's never taken a bad shot. I mean, every shot that he takes is a great shot. And you know what? That's the shooter's mentality. They expect every shot they take to go in. And after a while, as a coach, you get mad at them when they don't go in.
Two perfect free throws for the Brooklyn Bridge. It's 34-31. Pistons by 3, 7 minutes, 6 seconds to play in the half. Scottie Pippen for Chicago, cross-courting to 3. Back to Pippen, left wing. Time for the gun over Rodman. It rims off, no. Rebound, Worm. Head to Vinny, loops it way up for Sally, wide of the lane, bounces it across the paint. I think he was looking for Ricky Mahorn inside, but it got by him out of bounds. Timeout here, 6:53 to play in the half. Pistons 34, Bulls 31. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Pistons have great home games in February, like Atlanta on Friday the 12th, Chicago with Michael Jordan on the 13th, Philly with Charles Barkley Monday the 15th, and the Boston Celtics with everybody on Sunday the 28th. 338-4500 is the telephone number. There are salespeople on duty now to take your ticket orders for any home game. Why not call? Put it on the plastic. 6 minutes and 47 seconds to play in the half. Chicago feeding inside for Oakley. Back again. Got a block from behind by Rodman to Sally. Great play.
I mean, that was a great play.
Here comes Vinny. DJ to the hoop. Threw up the hook on the run. Headed off the high glass. 36-31. Pistons by 5. 6.5 to play in the half.
I love hustle points. Dennis Rodman had the great block.
Doug Collins is sitting up. Michael Jordan about to check back in. Paxson has it wide of the lane against Vinny. He'll fire up over him. It kicks off the heel to Oakley. Back to Paxson. Back to Oakley mid-post. Foul line extended. Pippen squares up. Guns got it. 36-33. 6:02 to play in the half. Pistons by 3 and with it. Dumars against Paxson. Deep on the wing. To Sally, top side. Hooks a pass to Vinny. Deep on the left wing. Clock down to 5. Now 4. Now 3. Top of the key for the force. 2 on the clock. Off the window and through.
See, I told you it's a good shot.
38-33. Vinny with 10 all here in the second. Pistons by 5. 5.5 to play in the half. Sadeo 3 got a screen from Corzine. Short with a shot. Top of the key. Corzine boards it. Powering it back up. And in. 38-35. It wasn't a hustle play necessarily, but it was a muscle play. Vinny Johnson, deep right wing, thought about it, then he sent it in and out to Pippen. Pippen losing the dribble here on the sideline, and the Pistons will get the basketball back.
That's a rookie mistake. Always tell those tall rookies, pick the ball up, get control of it if you're not sure, and then pass it to a guard. That's his job to bring the ball up for you.
Chuck Daly calling the Piston play here with 5 minutes flat to play in the half. Has his team up 3 in Chicago. They've beaten the Bulls in 2 overtime games so far this season. One of them here. Dumars across the lane, left to right, went to the hoop, missed it, rebound Oakley. Way up to Rory Sparrow who's come on. To Jordan, who has come on too. George with the hoop, got it.
One of the important things of the fast break guard is the ability to see faces. He could have passed it to the other guy, but it ended up in Michael Jordan's hand.
Sparrow and Jordan, Oakley, Corzine, and Pippen on the floor for Chicago. John Sally has it wide of the lane. Baseline push over Oakley, perfect. Pistons 40, Chicago 37. Vinny and Dumars, Mahorn, Sally, and Rodman for Chuck Daly with 4:15 to play in the half. Rory Sparrow in the lane to Corzine, turning and gunning, it ricochets away. Sally boards, mid-court to Rodman. Nearly had it stolen by Sparrow, and he pounded it, says Earl Strong.
Well, he had to palm it. The other guy's hand was in there deflecting the ball. If someone else touches it, you can't have a violation.
Imagine you told Earl that before and got a deaf ear.
It did just about as much good as it did this evening.
Michael Jordan outside against Dumars, feeding Corzine left corner. Corzine comes high post, bouncing to Sparrow, cutting to the hoop, up and in. Nice cut, nice pass. 2 points. Pistons lead back to 1. 3-4-0 to play in the half.
I don't worry about Sparrow catching the ball on the top of the key. I worry about those guys, those cutters, catching the ball for a layup.
Isaiah back in the game for Vinny, feeds the horn in the lane, turn and gun goes. Pistons by 3, 3.25 to play in the half. It's 42-39. Sparrow calling the play and Ron Rothstein hollering it out from the Piston bench. Sparrow has it right wing. Jordan behind a foul line, jumping at him with Sally. He got away from Dumars and he drilled it anyway. 42-41. Pistons by 1. Isaiah feeding Mahorn, top of the key. Now they left wing to Dumars. Wide of the lane to AD. Back on for Rodman, going baseline. It's around Pippen, hooking in a crowd, missing. Rebound Pippen. No look to Jordan, who no looks to Corzine, who dunks over Sally and draws the foul. They love that in the Windy City. Timeout called here, 2:44 to play in the half. The Bulls take the lead by 1, 43-42 on the Pistons Basketball Network. Wednesday, January 27th, the Pistons host the Indiana Pacers. It'll be autographed mug night. You get your photograph autographed. No, the first 10,000 adults 21 and older get a free Pistons autographed mug. For real. Don't miss out when the Pistons host the Pacers on Pistons autographed mug night. The hustle play that Dick might have referred to before was a sneak-up block on Oakley. It got the Pistons points when they were over, huh?
Perfect. He got it with the offside hand. He was a little lazy. He wanted to show off and get his stuff, and Rodman just stuffed it on him.
The free throw fell for Corzine. Chuck Daly with a timeout wants some more of those hustle plays. Pistons miss. Chicago boards it. They lead 44-42. 2:22 to play in the half. Pippen has it left wing. Now Oakley, top of the key. They feed Sparrow on the right wing. Pippen has it sideline. Jordan has it baseline. It's down on the turn and gun.
They don't post Michael very often, but that worked for them this evening.
46-42. Jordan was 17. 2 to play in the half. Isaiah on the right wing, feeding Dantley wide of the lane, working against Pippen. Outside Lambier. Foul line extended left. Dumars on the way. No. Rebound Oakley. Oakley has 10 rebounds. Sparrow has it. Pippen looking inside for Corzine, and Lambier leaned a little too hard. Corzine moving, and Billy banged him and fouled him. That's 1 on Bill Lambier. And Chuck Daly put his hot hand back in the game just now. Dumars out, Vinnie Johnson in.
I guess he got his body a little bit when he dislocated his shoulder up over the top of his head.
1:43 to play in the half. Vinny has 10 all this quarter. Pippen driving, offensive foul. On their possession, Mahorn took the charge.
See, Earl will make that call. He'll make that call against the home team.
And you're right, a lot of people don't see them want to. Minute and a half to play in the half. Pistons with it down 4. Vinny looking for the shot. Goes right wing, set feeds Lambier, back top side, all alone, fires, it falls.
That's their other version of the pick and roll. They do that from the top of the key so that the guard has an option to go either direction and find Billy.
And with Lambier waiting there, you want to get it to him if you can. Minute now and 10 to play in the half.
3 seconds.
Sellers back in the game, feeding Sparrow left wing. A lot of people in the lane, but Rory Sparrow with time to shoot, and he scored. Rory Sparrow, a good floor game and 8 points. Bulls by 4. 54 seconds to play in the half. Vinny and Lambier playing catch up top. Shot clock at 10. BJ down the lane, feeding Mahorn underneath. One dribble, now the shot up and in. Hung on the iron, but finally fell. Pistons back within 2, 48-46.
Bulls could get 2 shots if they went right away.
Shot clock 17, 35 seconds to play in the half. Sparrow deep left wing, working against Isaiah. Cross courts to Pippen. Now Sellers in the corner. Low to Oakley, knocked away by Isaiah to Mahorn. Good play.
Pistons will go for 1 now.
We only have a 1-second differential between the shot clock and the quarter clock. Shot clock with 13 seconds on it as Isaiah hands to Vinny out between the rings. Working against Michael Jordan. Between the legs goes VJ. Now feeds Dantley baseline to the hoop, got it knocked away. Foul call. With 3 seconds to play in the half. Oakley got him.
Alan Charles Oakley, his third. 4th team foul.
Good drive, good powerful drive along the baseline.
AD got inside and got it on the arm. For Oakley, that is 3.
That's an important drive.
Yes.
That's a. I'd rather, like I said at the end of the first quarter, have a foul on one of the stars than to get the basket clean.
Absolutely. Stay tuned at halftime, you know, for Dunham's Fast Break, featuring exciting highlights of Pistons players, a look back on past years, and up close and personal, one-on-one interviews with Pistons players and coaches. It's brought to you exclusively by Dunham's, the complete sports outfitter, now with 9 metro area Detroit locations and Grand Rapids. AD made the first.
And here you don't want one of your players to commit a foul with 3 seconds either. You want them to play heads-up basketball.
Up close and personal tonight, by the way, with Rick Mahorn.
Has he ever played one that wasn't?
Adrian made them both. First tie of the game now. 3 seconds to play in the half. 48-48. Jordan lets it fly after the horn. No good, no basket. Nobody leads at the half. Chicago 48, the Pistons 48 at Chicago Stadium. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. We're even at 48 at the half in Chicago, the Pistons and Bulls. And now, time for halftime. Brought to you by Dunham's. On the radio side, we'll go to the NBA tonight. On the TV side, tonight's Fast Break features up close and personal with Pistons power forward Rick Mahorn. Plus, a look back at former Pistons head coach Butch Van Bredekoff himself. VBK, one of a kind, huh, Dick Mata?
Oh, I've had some great stories about him. One night I kicked the ball in Detroit and he got a technical and he challenged me. He said, I'm a soccer player. I can kick it further than you.
Always a competitor. We'll be right back on the Pistons Basketball Network. Welcome back to Chicago, where the Pistons and the Chicago Bulls are all even here at the half. 48 all. And Dick Mata joining us here for the basketball game tonight, just like he did in Boston the other night, where the Pistons and Boston Celtics were even at the half, Dick.
I hope this one turns out differently than that one. That was some explosion, wasn't it?
Oh, unreal. The Pistons really exploded here tonight in the second quarter. Vinnie Johnson off the bench for 10 second quarter points seemed to spark the club. They did very well defensively too, and forced some Chicago turnovers, and also got themselves to the foul line.
Yeah, the intensity is really into the thing tonight. They're playing awfully hard, and there's a lot of physical contact out there, and you've got the scoring is very evenly distributed.
AD and Isaiah joining Vinny with 10. Rick Mahorn has 8. Michael Jordan, guess who, has 17 to lead Chicago. When you look at the numbers, you notice that the Pistons have managed to get to the line on the road 11 times in the first half. Chicago only there 4. I point that out especially after pointing out that Earl Strom's the lead official here tonight.
Yeah, you got a shot, and Detroit's game is going to the hole. Adrian Dantley draws a lot of fouls, and he's right on schedule.
It's halftime, and it's 48 all, and we should have a very good second half coming right up in Chicago on the Pistons Basketball Network.
Among the faithful here in Chicago, an old friend of Harry Hudson mine, Jim Cooper, now in the advertising business out in Los Angeles. Al and Nikki Brunk from Ypsilanti. Bobby and Myron Chaffis and Jim and Judy Ryder, all from back in Detroit, over here to watch the Pistons, plus the Backcourt Club, featuring President Larry Ribiat and his wife Pat, Bernie and Judy Gerke and all the rest, Nancy Ewald and John Szewski from the Pistons, along with Madeline Ward and Ellen Gahagan, helping the backcourters out. And we're going to hopefully celebrate a victory later on over at the ballroom in the hotel. Dick might like you to come by.
Well, I will, especially with the road win. Don't get very many of those in this league.
We start the third with the score tied at 48. Michael Jordan outside against Dumars. Hooking it in the paint to Mike Brown to the hoop, hit it off the window. He had a good start in the first, stayed out in the second, but starts early here in the third. Chicago by 2. Oakley, Sellers, Brown, Sparrow, and Jordan for Chicago. Pistons starters on the floor. Lambier behind a foul line, misfires in and out to Jordan. Up comes Michael. Stops right wing, bounces mid post to Oakley. Outside Sellers, long gun, got it. 52-48. Pistons looking to break any kind of Chicago running start here. Go to Dantley, short with it inside, followed his shot, filled it up, but wait a minute. Offensive foul, says Earl Strong.
Loose ball.
I couldn't see that angle very well. Here it is.
They call it loose. That's right, going for his rebound.
He's one of the best at it. Well, he did shove him off with his left elbow.
We've played a minute in the third. Chicago has outscored the Pistons 4-0. They lead 52-48. Sold out Chicago Stadium, the site. Jordan, Brown, Sellers, and Sellers drills it from the corner. 54-48. 10:44 to play in the third. Isaiah bouncing to Dantley, low right. Gets it back. Baseline, gives it back to AD. Wheeling inside, now foul line. Mahorn, pump fake. Lost the dribble, knocked out of bounds by Chicago.
This is a time for an organized execution. Down 6, 3 straight score. They've got to get one now.
AD feeding outside to Lambier, getting it back in the corner. Oakley on him to start the third. Sets, shoots, no. Off the heel to Mike Brown. Hands to Jordan. Michael still with the top of the key. Goes right wing, feeds sideline right Sparrow. Now back outside of Brown, shot clock 10. Bouncing in the paint, Oakley turning and gunning on Mahorn, missed it. Over to help Ricky, Bill Lambier, he fouled him.
Bill Lambier is second.
Well, the Pistons are hoping to avoid an organized execution here early in the third, like Boston.
Can't dig a hole for yourself. The Pistons have had good shots, however, and I still feel that that's the key.
Oakley with a miss at the stripe. Foul on Bill Lambier, his second.
Charles should work on his free throw in the offseason.
This guy's a chance to make a lot of money playing basketball. He's already doing fine, I'm sure. Made the second. 55-48. Chicago leads it. Pistons have yet to score in the third. Isaiah wide the lane, turns, fires. It rims off to Lambier. Follows, fills it up. They need that. 55-50.
That was a hustle basket.
9:54 to play in the third. Michael Jordan coming top of the key. Goes right wing, wheels on Dumars. Dishes back on the wing to Sellers. Long gun, got it again. 57-50 Chicago. Isaiah across the timeline. Handles behind a foul line. Ditches behind him to Lambier. They want to go inside to Mahorn, but before the pass inside, Jess Thompson has a whistle and a foul on Mike Brown. That's his second.
2 dinosaurs out there. I'd hate to have to call who initiated that action.
Pistons with 2 team fouls. Chicago with 1. AD to Lambier. Back it goes to Adrian. The right of the lane. 1 dribble and a pass outside to Isaiah. Left wing Dumars. Guns. Got it. Oh, he had that all the way. 57-52. All net for Joe D. Pistons have scored 4 here in the third. Chicago 9.
9:10 to play in it. Michael Jordan fakes a shot, dishes baseline to Oakley, back outside Sparrow. Shot clock winding down. It's at 7 as Sellers gets it left corner. Fires no. Rebound Jordan. Dumars went down, knocked down by Jordan, and Mahorn took Jordan down. And now the Bulls, of course, retaliate. We got a fist fight now. And all the folks on both teams are involved. And Doug Collins was shoved to press row, and they're still at it. They're coming down this way.
We can get in this thing if we're into it.
At midcourt, Mahorn and Sparrow are pulled apart. And they're throwing things.
I wish they'd go the other way with it. Doug just did a class act here. So did Ricky.
What did he do, Dick? I said something to Ricky, but I didn't hear it.
Doug came up to Ricky and said, "I was trying to pull you off." Extended his hand. He's got a little mouse under his eye. I learned in my second year in this league, I never got into the middle of the fights. I almost got killed one time with an errant punch on my chest, and I couldn't breathe for 3 minutes.
Doug Collins has got his arm around all his players. They gave away some free notepads tonight, and they come down like pretty heavy squares out of the stands. Back to the pictures.
Let's get a replay of this and make a videotape, and I'll get rich.
Well, they start the replay with Mahorn taking Jordan down, but Dumars went down before that.
Michael Jordan shoved Dumars to the ground and got a rebound, and I placed the responsibility of this whole darn thing right on Jess Thompson, the official.
Now Oakley going after Mahorn in the corner. Doug Collins trying to pull Ricky away. They disappear from sight for a minute. Sparrow is still trying to hold Mahorn back. Again, Collins tries, and he got hit a couple times and finally shoved into press row. Vinnie Johnson wisely stepping between his pal Rick and the Chicago
that's a
coach.
cheap shot. Oakley,
In comes Oakley
over the top
with a blindsider.
It's not hard to shove and punch someone from behind. Doug didn't fight that much when he was a player.
This thing lasted a good minute. Longer than a couple of heavyweight championship fights I've been to.
I'd hate to sort it out and decide who has to be ejected.
Well, Oakley's gone. We know that, and so's Rick Mahorn.
Well, I'd guess that Rick is gone.
Mike Abdenauer escorting Ricky to the locker room.
I've always objected when they hand out promotions that could turn into missiles. I think it's really foolish to give the fans something that could eventually lead to an injury.
Well, it's a reasonably fair exchange, frankly. All things considered.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Chuck's handkerchief is in disarray.
Somebody in the crowd mentioned it to him, and he fixed it and said thank you.
Don't think the league won't have fun with this. They'll be sending out fines. They'll need a Brinks truck to gather all the fine money on this one. $500 if you leave the bench.
And some people just had to.
Well, Doug got killed on his own bench. Is he going to get fined?
We have 9 minutes and 1 second to play here in the third, so the fight erupts just before the 3-minute mark.
This wouldn't be a bad time for one of the coaches or the officials to make up an excuse to call a timeout and get this hostile crowd settled down.
Earl Strom now making a joke, got a Lambier laugh, and now a Sally one, and the players are trying to calm down. Sparrow and Dantley laughing.
And Doug just rubbed his cheek, but he didn't want anyone to see it.
And now Earl Strom and Jess Thompson call the players on both sides together for a huddle down there in the lane. Well, we've had all kinds of excitement in here tonight.
I wouldn't want to be in the middle of that huddle. That guy, that too many. You don't imagine how large these guys are until you get up really close to them, and how powerful and what damage can be done with just one blow. And someone said this was a great non-contact sport.
Doug Collins and Chuck Daly now playing without their power forward. Jordan at the line made the free throw. Mike Abdenauer on his way to the locker room now. He had escorted Ricky as far as the stairs, and now he'll go down and double check. Michael Jordan made 2, has 19, and the Bulls lead by 7. Lambeer, Tom McKee left winning the Dumars. Well, the first 2 have gone to overtime, and this one's already a thriller for more reasons than one. Adrian Dantley across the lane, in a crowd, up and in.
The weak of heart should go home now. You know, the players. This is a very, I love this. I think this is great. I don't like to see the fighting, but I like to watch how they play after something like this happens.
Chicago to Sparrow, is jumper from the wing rings out. Jordan skies for the rebound, hits the putback, but he's fouled before the shot. Earl Strom overrules Jess Thompson, counts the hoop, and is Chuck Daly hot about that?
If I was officiating, I wouldn't let anyone ever overrule me if I had a clear view of it. That tests your manhood and everything else.
You never let anybody overrule you yet. I sure don't try. Timeout call here. 62-54 with the make at the line. And I don't know if it's a full or a 20. It appears to be a 20-second timeout. Chuck Daly talking with his captain, Isaiah Thomas.
I don't blame Chuck on this one.
He wants to go have a conversation with Earl and plead his case. Nothing doing, says Earl Strom. And Chuck will join Ron Rothstein and Dick Versace now in that Piston huddle.
The only thing you can think of when the trainer is called back to the dressing room, that maybe someone broke a bone in their hand or something like that, and hitting another guy's head or the table or something.
How do you feel, Dick, about going inside for Adrian Dantley, because they're not going to let people bang you around too much, and if he gets hit pretty good, he gets a foul call?
Oh, I love the inside. I believe you win the games mostly from the box.
Jordan
have
with a
to
near
shoot free
steal.
throws.
Don't wait for the 11 o'clock news. Get the latest scores before 11 with Ray Lane's Sports Break at 10:58. Pistons do go to Dantley across the lane, got it blocked, got it back, threw it up and in.
And he's very intelligent because he knows that the officials have to gain control of this game, and so he's going to make them call fouls.
Michael Jordan on Dumars down the lane. Missed it, through the foul.
And he knows what's going on, too. Michael Jordan has a complete picture of this ball game. They're just putting their head down and going, and they're going to get the calls.
Isaiah's foul, his second. Jordan makes. He hasn't missed in 7 tries. 63-56 Chicago. 7:51 to play in the third. A couple of minutes ago, Charles Oakley and Rick Mahorn ejected for fighting. Jordan got the next. Chicago by 8. Pistons bounce to Dantley. AD across the lane, threw it up, hit the heel, and clanged away the Sellers. Bulls can go up 10. Jordan against Dumars up the left side. Off to Sparrow on the way. Baseline Brown turns, guns, it goes. Mike Brown's beginning to look like a basketball player. 66-56. Chuck Daly wants timeout. 7:17 to play in the third. Timeout on the Pistons Basketball Network. Well, they got their own Blues Brothers here in Chicago entertaining to whip the crowd into an even bigger frenzy, perhaps. The Pistons come home from this West Coast trip to host the Indiana Pacers in the key Central Division battle. Tonight during our simulcast, you can order tickets with a major credit card for that one. Call 338-4500 now. Salespeople are on duty. This half of Pistons basketball brought to you by Michigan HMO, the Family Healthcare Plan. Attention, federal government employees. Open enrollment now in progress. Chicago 6 for 7 now in the third. Pistons 4 out of 10 and trailing by 10. Isaiah down the lane, switches, missed the left-hand scoop. Rebound, Horace Grant, who replaced Oakley when he got thumped. Sally's playing for Rick Mahorn, who got the boot. Sparrow off to Jordan on the wing. Dumars right up on him with a two-hand check. Right around him, though. Top of the key. Feeds Sellers deep right. Jumper rims off. Sally snatches it from Brown to Dumars, ahead to Isaiah. Down the lane, dish it to Sally. One dribble, powering a reverse up, no. AD with a rebound, jump hooks it, no. Sellers to Jordan. To Grant, threw it over the hoop. Brown rebounds, got it blocked by Sally. We got a foul. Isaiah.
It's fast and furious out there.
Over the hole, then Brown tries the putback, and obviously Isaiah was hanging on his arm.
And I couldn't tell who threw Billy to the floor.
I knew you were checking to try and find that out. You checked the foul. I want to see who bumped the big guy down.
As opposing coach, I didn't care how he got to the floor, but I like to see him go to the floor once in a while.
Isaiah got his third foul. Brown made that missed. Dennis Rodman rebound. He's become a rebounding machine. Chicago by 11, Pistons ball. They could use one. 6:20 to play in the third. Dumars working wide of the lane. Gives to Lambeer topside. In the paint, Sally. Quickly, right wing Dumars. Rainbow's well short. Rebound tapped out to Sparrow. Sparrow. Blind dish. Jordan flying left hand scoop, and he scores. What a shot. 69-56. Isaiah pushing off Jordan in the lane, trying to find something, create something, dishes to Dumars, went to the hoop, drew the foul. Jordan, too, that's his third.
Second team foul.
Chuck Daly looking for some offense, and he knows one place he can usually find it. Vinnie Johnson about to report.
Joe Dumars shoots 2.
Gets the first one down. Nice job by director Harry Hutt giving us that fight scene.
That was great camera work. It was really something as we saw that thing move down toward us.
You kept wondering, could they go on much further? They almost got it close enough to make us ringside instead of courtside. Joe D makes it 69-58. Chicago trying to answer. They don't. Lambeer boards a miss. Dumars up to Rodman against Sparrow. From the lane, the leaner no. On the floor, Isaiah's got it. Put that in and out.
Can't buy a basket.
Mike Brown off to Sparrow. Sparrow stops and goes to the wing. Keeps the dribble. Working against Isaiah. 5:15 to play in the third, and away from the ball, a foul.
Foul on Dennis Rodman.
It's on Rodman.
Vinnie Johnson for Dumars.
Vinnie will replace Joe D.
Vinnie has to have this kind of quarter like he had at the second quarter. He needs to come in, take control of the game with his offense.
Grant misses the first free throw. Horace Grant, the 6'10 rookie from Clemson, got him 10th in round number 1. Got around 50% from the stripe and the floor. Made the next. So he's about at his average. Bubble by 12. Pistons rushing. And Isaiah got it up and in on the lay-in. They caught Chicago napping. 70-60. 5 to play in the third. Jordan working against Vinnie. Goes topside, clock at 12. Swinging around the wing to Sellers. Now low to Grant. Outside, fumbled by Brown, picked up by Sparrow, shot clock 3, dribbling baseline, going to the hoop. Got hit with the clock winding down. Sally with a foul.
If you're going to commit a foul, that's a good one.
2 on Spider Sally. Rory Sparrow, the electrical engineer from Villanova, makes the first. Doing a nice job now running the offense for Chicago.
I always felt he did a nice job in New York. Very, very steady, consistent basketball player.
I like it. Flip the pair, missing the second. And Isaiah worked him on the baseline. Got the basket to go and drew Rory's foul. Piston fans remember Isaiah eating up Sparrow a couple of times, but Isaiah's had his nights against almost all the guards in the league.
Good penetration. Drew the foul. He knew that he could jump up over Sparrow and get the shot off.
Out comes Sellers. Scottie Pippen replaces him. Isaiah makes 5 for 6 now from the stripe tonight. The Pistons have pulled back with an 8 with 4.5 to play in the third.
Always felt it was important to keep it under 10 points going into the fourth quarter.
Especially with their plays. Sparrow outside. This is to Jordan on the wing against Vinny. Clock at 7. Goes baseline. Now the fadeaway. Short. Lambeer boards off to Isaiah. Pistons trying to get a break going here. Isaiah keeps it. Lost the dribble. Didn't know quite where to go with it. And away and wet. 4 to play in the third. Sparrow to Jordan. Drilled it from the wing. 28 for Michael Jordan.
Always call those three-point turnovers. 3.7 turnovers.
Why is that?
Well, the 1.7 points you don't get with the possession and the 2 that they get.
Rodman from Thomas.
Not bad. Isaiah got Rodman a hoop down deep at 73-65. Sparrow looking inside. They get a miss, but a tap in by Grant. 75-65. Pistons down 10 again. Isaiah trying to work Sparrow behind a foul line. Backs up between the rings, calls the play. Tried to loop it to Sally, and it's knocked away. Sparrow to Grant, back to Rory. Sparrow to the hoop, protected the ball with a body, got it up and in. 77-65. 2:50 to play, third quarter. Vinnie Johnson with it outside. DJ hooks back to Lambeer, goes to Rodman on the baseline. Wheeling across the lane, on the heel, it's up, it's in.
Good ball movement that time.
77-67, Pistons back within 10, 2:35 to play, third quarter. Michael Jordan slow walks it up the left side against Vinnie. Takes left, comes back right, top of the key for the gun, got it. Pulls by a dozen again. Jordan with 30. 2:15 to play, third quarter. In Chicago. Isaiah up top, beating Vinnie wide the lane. Goes baseline, throws it up on the run off the side of the glass to Pippen. Now they're 3-on-1 against Isaiah. But Pippen lost the dribble. Somehow, Jordan picked it up, missed it, drew the foul. Lambeer with a foul. For Billy, that's 4. Timeout here, 1:59 to play in the third. Chicago 79, Pistons 67. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Wrap up your weekend with the Fox Network tomorrow night beginning at 7 with 21 Jump Street starring Johnny Depp. At 8 it's Werewolf. 8:30 Married with Children. 9 o'clock The Unpredictable Tracy Ullman Show. 9:30 the romantic comedy Duet. That's all tomorrow night right here on TV 50. Michael Jordan at the stripe lengthens the Chicago lead to 13. They've had their try at the line. 14 trips now this quarter. The Pistons 3.
That's a complete turnaround from the second quarter.
Yes, it is. Jordan got them both. 81-67 Chicago.
Sometimes I could never figure that out. The same two teams playing in the same tempo. Maybe the humidity changed in the building or something.
Then he has it for the Pistons. Wide lane right side between the legs against Sparrow. Can't shake it. Backs him into the lane, turns, and Guns got it off the window. He just finally out-muscled him. 81-69. 12-point Chicago lead, 1:33 to play third quarter. Sparrow against Vinnie. Bounces Pitches to Jordan against Isaiah. Fakes right, goes left to the baseline of the hoop, off, bangs on the rim, no. Rebound, Rodman. Jordan went down, so did Sally. Isaiah has it now, VJ. Spinning baseline, forcing over Sparrow, fills it up.
He needs to do that now.
He has a quick 4. 14 on the night, 81-71. A minute and 4 to play in the third. Chicago by 10. Corzine back in the basketball game. Sparrow feeds Pippen, who goes to Corzine. Mid-post, he is two-time. Bedford and Rodman. William Bedford has checked in. Resting Lambier with that 4th foul, and with Mahorn ejected, he'll have to get a little time tonight. John Sally just fouled. The Chicago World inside. Michael Jordan will rest now. Sedale 3 spells him. Pippen was fouled by Sally.
David is almost a throwback to the old-time centers. That was a nice pass. He knows how to pass, and that's almost a lost art with big men nowadays.
That's just a great added plus anymore.
Well, I think a lot of that is due to the fact that the colleges are playing a great deal of the passing game, and most of the players have to face the basket, and they don't develop their passing skills with their back to the basket.
Pippen got just 1. It's 82-71. John Paxson in for Sparrow for Chicago. Rodman loops it low to Sally, back to Worm, down the lane, up and in off the glass. 9-point game, 82-73, 38 to play in the third. Paxson against Isaiah, deep right wing.
This is an important defensive situation.
They go to Corzine, mid-right, turns, guns, air ball. Rodman tips to Isaiah. Pistons have a chance for another break. It's 3-on-2, bouncing to Vinny, up and in. 82-75. Chicago by just 7. No shot clock, 17 seconds to play in the quarter.
No Michael Jordan with the ball either.
It's Sedale 3 against Vinny between the rings. They'll run that same play. Everybody else is spread. Freak feeds Paxson on the wing. They go wide of the lane to Corzine. Now we have 4 seconds, now 3, now 2 from the lane. It's up, it's in. 84-75. Pistons try and rush it up. Freak intercepts, and they'll let the time run out. At the end of 3, well, it could have been worse, believe me. Chicago 84, the Pistons 75. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Your neighborhood Tuffy Service Center wants you to have safe breaks this winter, Pistons fans. Visit one of Tuffy's 33 Detroit area locations for a free brake safety inspection and pick up 2 free tickets to see the Pistons battle the Celtics January 29th. That's a free brake safety checkup and free Pistons Celtics general admission tickets only from Tuffy. While ticket supplies last, no purchase necessary. Well, Dick Motta, they did drop it down under 10 to start the 4th.
For some reason, as a coach, when I was behind on the road, I always said, keep it under 10. I don't know why I said that, but it was always important, and it seemed to work out pretty good in our favor.
Isolation play for Vinny on 3. Dishes to Dumars, top of the key, rainbows it goes. Now it's a 7-point spread with 11:40 to go in this game.
And I like to always win the tip on the road so that I could have a possession to start the 4th quarter, just like the Pistons did on that possession.
Paxson has it on the right wing. For Chicago, bouncing low to Grant against Sally. He'll force it and miss it. Corzine didn't hold it. Sally taps to Dumars, but he was traveling, says Jess Thompson. That could have been a nice hustle play for Sally instead of turnover. Pistons shooting 46% tonight, Chicago 52%.
That's about the difference in margin.
We have a 7-point game. Bulls ball. 84-77 Chicago. 11:20 to go. Corzine has it wide of the lane against Bedford. Whistle, foul underneath. Rodman holding Pippen, says Jess Thompson.
Just with the normal crowd noise in lull moments, it's hard to hear the officials whistle. This place is active.
Bulls ball again. 3 inside to Paxson. Gets it back outside. Hit as he shoots it. Misses. Sally with the foul on the falling down 3.
I dislike that type of foul from my players.
And that's his 4th. 11:06 left.
Don't foul jump shooters.
Not 22 feet away.
No.
Jump shooters who don't start. Bill Lambier back. He plays with 4. Sally sits down with 4. Sadeo Threet with 5 points. Count of both, 86-77. Pistons down 9. Dumars up courting against Paxson. Goes left wing, leaves it there for Vinny against Threet. Between the legs, the dribble. Backs him down baseline, turns guns, no. Bedford's tip won't go. Corzine rebounds, bounces to Paxson midcourt left side. Now Threet top of the key, pull up gun. In his rhythm, it's down 88-77. Chicago by 11, 10.5 left. Dumars between the legs. On the lane, Vinny. The foul line extension to the lane. Threw it up and in. Tough shot. Uncanny. Pistons back with a 9. Paxson directs traffic. Leaves for Pippen on the wing. Hands to Grant. Gets it back. Hands to Paxson. Paxson from the top. It drops.
You don't see the old Boston Celtic weaving pro ball very often.
What happened there, it got Paxson the long gun. 90-79 Chicago. Rodman around Pippen to the hoop, and he traveled. Turnovers, Dick Motta's key stat, and the Pistons do not look good in that column right now. Paxson from the wing, drilled it again, 9:46 to go. 92-79 Chicago. Chuck Daly wants timeout.
Paxson is a great shooter if he gets time, and they're setting a little screen for him off the side, and they use that weave to get him a shot earlier.
Timeout, 9:40 left. Chicago 92, Pistons 79. This is the Pistons Basketball Network. Don't miss the Pistons Basketball Clinic or Health Alliance Plan, Tuesday the 26th at 7 o'clock at the Bailey Rec Center in Westland. Call Health Alliance Plan to make plans for it, 872-8100, the number. Chuck Daly, John Sally, and Dennis Rodman will be there. And Dick Motta's teams, all the years he was coaching but one, I believe, led the league in fewest turnovers. The Pistons turnovers causing them problems tonight.
I always felt that that's the main statistic that I looked at in a ball game, and I just didn't appreciate him or would tolerate players that were turnover or error prone.
You were quoted as calling them the plague once, I think.
They are a plague. It's the most discouraging thing to work for the ball and then give it up with a play that doesn't make sense. Now, there are some turnovers in the game you can't control. The 3 second, the charge, some plays like that. But bad passes.
The number tonight, by the way, Pistons with 13, Chicago with 8. Pistons didn't turn it on this possession. Dumars drew the foul coming down the lane. Corzine's first. 9.5 left in the game. Joe Dumars makes, draws the Pistons within a dozen. Got them both. Vinny and Joe. Rodman, Bedford, and Lambier against Paxson and Threet and Pippen and Corzine and Horace Grant. Scottie Pippen working the wing against Rodman. Gives to Corzine, gets it back, works the weave, hands to Paxson, screens for him, shot short. Rebound off, Dumars out of bounds. That's just a bad bounce, folks. And Michael Jordan will return. Listen to the roar from this home crowd. Pippen sits down.
He's really turned his city on.
And this league, for that matter. We're talking a franchise player that might come along once in the history of a franchise. Jordan. One of the lane, jumping, shooting, missing. Tap, no. Another tap, no. Comes off to 3. All alone, left wing. Up and in. 94-81, Chicago by 13. Plenty of time left. 8:44 as Dumars wants to pick and roll with Bedford left side. Goes baseline. Hooks on the run. No. Jordan away with it. Dumars knocked it away from behind.
Good hustle play. You could tell he was going to get it. Michael had the ball high and to the side, and Joe really made a nice effort.
Chuck Daly trying to push the right buttons here down the stretch and get a combination that works. Isaiah Dantley for Dumars and Bedford. Bulls go to 3 though, and he's on fire.
That's the guy. Maybe Sally was right by knocking him down. Maybe should have knocked him down harder.
Doesn't even play every night, but he plays against the Pistons and well. Just drilled it from the wing. Isaiah going baseline on Paxson through the hole before he went there. Earl Strom called it on Paxson, and before Paxson could get to him, he said, now don't start. Don't even come near me about that one.
And Isaiah, that's a pro move. That's a trick. As they drive him by, John had his arm out. Isaiah's dribbling with the right hand, reached out, hooked his arm with the left hand, pulled him onto it. That's a Rick Barry trick. First guy I ever saw do that.
Isaiah feeding Finney on the baseline. Guns from there, no. Rodman keeps it alive and pulls it down. One dribble, dishes to AD. Low right, Porzingis blocks it, but he's fouled.
Foul on Dave Porzingis.
Porzingis foul, his second. The Bulls third, the Pistons have two. Time left, 8:04. Chicago's lead is 15.
It's time to make the move.
AD coaxes the first one through. Adrian with 15. Great game last night for him. 38 points and 10 boards. Makes them both. 96-83. Chicago's lead, Chicago's ball at Chicago's arena, the Chicago Stadium. Just under 8 to go. Jordan against Rodman, goes baseline, lost it on the way to the hole. Lambier pulls it away, whips it out to Vinny. He's 1-on-2. Whirls around 3 and Paxson. High glass turn and gun, no. Follow Rodman, yes. He jump hooked it up and in off the window. 96-85. Pistons claw back to within 11. 7:35 left. 3 between the rings. Right wing Jordan. Back to 3. Top of the key. Isaiah jumps at him. Too late. He drilled it. Zadeo with 14 points. 8 here in the fourth. Pistons inside to AD. Turns guns, no. Rebound Grant. Pistons can't get a post-up shot to go, and Chicago scores from downtown. Bulls. 7 minutes left. Porzingis setting a screen on Lambier, knocked him down, but Lambier's going to get the foul. Jess Thompson says that he locked Porzingis' arm underneath his arm. Let's see if he did.
I want to look at this replay myself.
Inconclusive. Chicago inside. Jordan's down. He wants to fight Dantley. He better think again.
Foul call on Adrian Dantley, the second 14 foul.
Well, Michael's like a lot of guys that hang around with their big friends. Like when I go somewhere with you, Dick, I can get a little mouthy. I know you're there.
That really will help you a lot. Always hide behind the biggest guy on the floor. When I had Wes Unseld.
That's a great one to hide behind.
Because no one could see you, and they didn't mess with him. Always took him shopping with me.
There's always a comforting feeling, I'm sure, if you were a Piston during the days that Bob Lanier was in the middle.
That's another one. The game is a little out of control physically. I think since the foul happened on the floor where Ostrom overruled Jess, it's kind of affected him, and he hasn't gotten into or stayed into the game like he should have.
Jordan missed and made, has 33. Chicago 99, Pistons 85. Vinny against Sellers and 3. Bounces in a corner to Lambier, taken away from him by Rodman, who fell down on the dribble. 3 picks it up. Chicago breaking. Nice 360 scoop by 3 up and in off the glass. 101-85. Isaiah deep to Dantley. He beat all the Bulls back. And Sellers is holding him on the baseline in front of Jess Thompson, who preferred to look elsewhere, or maybe he was looking elsewhere. 6:10 left. 101-87 Chicago. Jordan around Isaiah, down the lane, scooping and scoring. And he's fouled, and it counts.
Not a bad weapon to have. Spread the court and give it to Michael and attack the basket.
He's hanging in the air with a ball behind his head when most people are about to fall down from the sky. He just went higher.
You think if you had a pair of shoes like his, you could do that?
No way. He made the free throw, too, and 3 steals on Isaiah. 104-87, 5:55 to go. Grant got it inside, dunked. 106-87. Pistons will have to take a timeout here. 5:44 to go. Timeout. On the Pistons Basketball Network. Buddy's Pizza Trivia Quiz. Name the first and second round picks in the 81 NBA Draft. Isaiah Thomas and who? Buddy's Trivia winners get a complimentary dinner for 2 at any of the Metro Detroit Buddy's locations, plus 2 tickets to a Pistons game. 5 winners for each simulcast. To enter, mail your answer to Buddy's Trivia, the Pistons, Pontiac, 48057. Don't forget your name and address. We'll draw the winners randomly. Pistons go to AD in the lane, blocked by Jordan. Think he wanted that?
He did more with one hand than I've done my whole life with 2.
Well, the Bulls 9 for 13 from the floor in the quarter. Jordan feeds Sellers in the corner, and they miss one. It popped out from 22 away. 5:08 left. Pistons get one from Vinny. They had to have it. Foul line extended. 106-89. If you're coaching now, you can't afford too many misses, and you got to have a whole lot of stops.
You can't trade. You can't trade right now. You've got to come up. This is gut time.
Jordan working Vinny. Behind the back dribble, wheels to the lane. Issues in the corner, Threets alone, and he's on fire, but this one finally pops away. Lambier boards it, so the Pistons get 2 stops. Manner of speaking, back comes Isaiah, misfiring right wing. Jordan boards it.
Sedell just asked to come out of the ball game. His shooting arm is weary.
Other than that, he's probably not tired. 4:18 left. 106-89 Chicago. Jordan coming inside. Vinny bumped him pretty good, but he lost it out of bounds. No call, Pistons ball. That's 3 straight Chicago misses. 106-89 they lead. 4:07 to go in Chicago. Isaiah to Vinny. Heating gun, Wander lane short. Rebound tapped by Rodman, controlled by Rodman. Off to Lambier, Glasser, Wander lane, good. 106-91. 3:45 left. Jordan trying to stop and go. Does, but dishes to Grant. Who got it up and down, and he went down, and he'll draw the foul. Rodman with a foul, give Grant the hoop. Well, the Pistons could almost afford no more Chicago makes. Still, they got within 10 or so, and Grant got a hoop and has a chance to make it a 3-point trip. Out comes Rodman, in comes John Sally.
I continue to be impressed with Rodman's offensive rebounding, his nose for the ball.
Grant makes, though, 109-91 Chicago. Pistons to Dantley, 3-timed and fouled. Grant, Corzine, Sellers there. Horace Grant.
4th team foul.
The Clemson rookie gets the foul.
2 shots.
Almost every foul in this basketball game has been a physical one, the one that you want to send a message, and they've been doing that.
AD gets the first one to go, has 19. 109-92, 3:35 to go, got them both. Rory Sparrow with Jordan. Grant, Sellers, and Corzine. The Chicago Bulls. Jordan waddling against Vinny. Gets to his spot, sends it no. Rebound, Lambier. Knocked away, though. Picked up by Grant off to Jordan, and they'll wisely run some time down.
I've been impressed with Grant. This is the first time I've seen him as a rookie.
Jordan all by himself in the lane. Finally drew a crowd and lost it out of bounds. 3:01 left, 109-93. Isaiah rifles it midcourt to Lambier, who gives it up to Dantley. Off to Isaiah. Left wing Lambier shooting in a hurry. Corzine got a piece of it. Jordan rebounds it. Well, that's all the time they really have to shoot.
Yeah, you don't need extra passes now.
2:40 to play. Jordan wheeling inside on Vinny. Dishes back to Corzine. Baseline set no. Rebound taken from Grant by Isaiah. 2.5 left. Isaiah from the wing. Nope. Corzine with a rebound. 2:20 to go. Chicago 109, the Pistons 93. I think we're going to see our first non-overtime Pistons-Bulls game. Pistons won the first two in 02. Jordan alone left wing, misses. Corzine with the rebound, follows no. And Grant's over Dantley's back to bring it down. Whistle, foul on Lambier. Bill Lambier handed the ball to Jess Thompson and said, "Here, that was a bad call," and he was right. He fouls out. Isaiah leaves. Ralph Lewis and William Bedford come on.
Chicago has Grant, Oakley, and Brown, and they all look identical. They're out of a mold, and they're very physical tonight.
Rodman returns. Adrian Dantley will come out. Horace Grant made the first. Got the second. 111-93. 1:58 to go. Lewis feeding Rodman on the wing. Back to Bedford, top of the key. Ralph Lewis will get it. Time for a shot. Swish.
Ralph Lewis.
111-95. $18,676 will go home happy in Chicago tonight. Sparrow to Corzine in the lane on Bedford. Left hand hook over him. No. Rebound Rodman. Sally behind the back to Worm. He will dunk it. 111-97. This one got a little bit out of hand. Physically. More than any other way. Jordan with a force from the baseline. Misses. Corzine fouls it, falls. 113-97. Chicago, a minute to play.
I think the altercation hurt the Pistons more in the loss of Mayhorn than losing Grant for the Bulls. Okay, I'm sorry, okay. I had Grant on my mind because he really did a nice job of replacing. He has got out of Oakley.
Bedford missed from the top. We're in the final minute. Bulls ball.
I think I've pulled Michael Jordan out now.
Sparrow. And we got a hand check foul on Vinny.
All of the things we've seen tonight, that's a foul.
That was a mystery foul. But why complain? Corzine out, Mike Brown in. And yes, they have indeed taken Michael Jordan out, and he gets a rousing round of applause.
Dave thought that was his round of applause.
You know what?
He played well.
He came close to a triple-double. He got it. 36 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
You know, that's a half a season for a lot of guys.
Man, 36, 10, and 10 for Michael Jordan. Rory Sparrow. Makes it 115-97. Finney with a corkscrew jumper. Wanda Lane drills that. 115-99. No more shot clock.
Always like to sit on the ball in this situation with a heated rival. They don't like to rub it in, get the win, because that's what they're going to do too.
Sellers with it outside. Rodman trying to steal. Back out to Sparrow. He will shoot a triple. No basket.
And I was wrong.
Well, that was an unwise decision by a guy who's usually a very wise player. Offensive goaltending, I think, called off what would have been a make. Final score, Chicago. The Bulls 150, the Pistons 99. This is the Pistons Basketball Network.
Welcome back to Chicago, where we expected to have a wild one, and we did. The Chicago Bulls winning it 115-99. Along with Dick Motta. He's old 808 on his career, but 356 of them were here in Chicago, and the home crowd always helped. I believe they helped the Bulls tonight.
They got it going. I think that the altercation was the turning point. It just got really hairy and a little scary after that, even though as a fan I enjoyed it, and all of these 18,000 did also.
You know, we remarked at the time, Dick, and to the fans, that maybe it was going to be a fair exchange. In fact, Charles Oakley's a leading rebounder in the league. Maybe even the Bulls fans thought that the Pistons got the better of that deal when Rick Mahorn and Oakley were ejected. But Ricky's very important to this squad, and it looked as though Chicago, as it turned out, got the best of that deal when they both got the boot.
I think so. I didn't think it would at the time either. I thought that the Pistons would have the better advantage of it, but Grant came in and did a nice job of it.
Well, Horace Grant, the rookie, had been struggling. Scottie Pippen had been struggling. Sedale Threet, folks, had really been struggling. He'd hardly been playing, but he got well tonight, didn't he?
He hit 4 in a row, and they were really big shots. And just before that, Sally had knocked him down on a jumper. And, you know, the experts that we are, we said, why foul that jump shooter? Let him shoot. He showed us.
Boy, he made all kinds of them after that. Michael Jordan got a triple-double for Chicago. A couple of players played very well for the Pistons. Dennis Rodman with 10 points, 13 rebounds, and then a couple of scorers who got it done when necessary, Vinnie Johnson and Adrian Dantley. We'll be back to talk with VJ right after this on the Pistons Basketball Network.